You know, I might not be the smartest man that you know. I might not be some fucking award-winning scientist. I might not be a fucking mathematician. I might not be your resident Stephen Q. Urkel. But what I do know is that when a challenger like Samoa Joe is throwing his name into the hat of a vast roster, when Samoa Joe is throwing his name into the hat of challengers for Kofi Kingston and the WWE Championship at Extreme Rules 3 weeks from tonight, you figured there'd be a reason as to why said challenger is going after the championship. When said challenger had the United States Championship on Sunday, lost it to Ricochet at Stomping Grounds, and then proceeds to attack the WWE Champion, a WWE Champion who is a part of SmackDown Live, a WWE Champion who is not a part of Samoa Joe's brand, you figured that said challenger Samoa Joe would come out and give us a reason 3 weeks before the pay-per-view why he attacked Kofi Kingston and wants the WWE Championship. Fuck me, I guess, folks. Doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter. And what was the last thing that we seen? Please, I might be daydreaming, or I might be sleepwalking. Did we just see a champion win on WWE television? Oh my goodness, man. The world is ending tonight. I didn't think I'd see the day. I wish I'd see the fucking day where I come here and watch a main roster show, review it, and smile like I do when I review NXT. I don't. I can't. This show is fucking dreadful. Absolutely piss poor, bottom of the barrel wrestling for your week on SmackDown Live. This show is becoming worse than Monday Night Raw. I honestly do not remember feeling this way. It might not have been that long, but when my head is in my phone through most of the show, someone like me, you know that's a fucking problem. This show is downright dreadful. Nothing happened tonight. More Shane McMahon, more Elias, more Miz, a rematch with Kofi and Dolph Ziggler. If Dolph Ziggler wins, he's added to the fucking match with Samoa Joe at Extreme Rules. The world goes round. Champions losing, your tag team champions losing, your women's champion losing, half of the roster missing. Buddy Murphy is still waiting his debut match, or waiting for his debut match. Someone knocked on the door of Alistair Black's locker room. I can't do it anymore, folks. I can't do it. I can't do it. The stupidity levels on this show are at an all-time high. Said it last night, I'm going to say it again. Jesus Christ himself could not save this show. If he wanted to create a worse show, he could not. He could not. It already exists. Raw and SmackDown will trump anything that Jesus can magically conjure up. Can't happen. SmackDown Live. We're going to go over everything, as usual, right here on the podcast. I am wanting to get out of here, honestly, so I can hop back in on Destiny, so I can finish my fucking quest for the exotics that I'm missing. Can't stand this shit, man. I got to sit here and talk about fucking shitty wrestling. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody wants it to change. Nobody is willing to have change happen. All you know is that when you come on here, you're going to get the same fucking quality you get every single week with Off the Script. If you guys missed anything that I uploaded this week, Stomping Grounds, Off the Script, and Monday Night Raw, everything you guys need is linked in the annotation. Go and check all the videos out that you might have missed. Top right corner, drop it down. Everything you need will be right there. Podcast tonight is brought to you by Audible. audibletrial.com/offthescript. Make sure you guys are supporting Off the Script through our fine friends over at Audible. audibletrial.com/offthescript. They want to give you 30 days free of their service and one free audiobook of your choice. JD, that sounds great. I love getting shit for free. What do I got to do? Pick up your iPhone, pick up your Google Android device, and all you got to do is download the Audible app. It is absolutely free. Then you're going to go to audibletrial.com/offthescript. You're going to go through the sign-up process. You will not be billed, and then you're going to get 30 days free of their service. On top of that, they're going to say thank you and give you a free audiobook on top of all that. Over 200,000 choices to choose from, a lot of which are wrestling related, as you see there. Shawn Michaels, Jim Ross, Chris Jericho, Daniel Bryan, Brock Lesnar, the death of WCW, Stone Cold, Justin Roberts, so on and so forth. The best part about it is if you guys feel like Audible's not for you and you simply want to sign up and support the podcast, you guys can cancel anytime within the 30 days and keep your audiobook for free. Yes, you get to keep your audiobook for free. Once again, that's audibletrial.com/offthescript. Thank you guys so much for making last month great. Hope to see you guys sign up and support the podcast via Audible. And make sure you guys follow me on social media, man, at JD from NY206, both on Twitter and Instagram. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. And if you guys want to support the podcast via Patreon, patreon.com/JD from NY206. Thank you guys so very much for supporting the podcast on Patreon. SmackDown Live started off with, guess who, folks? Guess who? Mustafa Ali? You've guessed incorrectly. What about Andrade Cien Almas? You guessed once again incorrectly. What about the War Raiders, or Cedric Alexander, or Cesaro, or Alistair Black coming out of the closet? You guessed incorrectly, folks. You do realize that with all the roster members that WWE has right now that are sitting on the sidelines, you could actually create another full wrestling promotion. I don't know who in that company thinks that is right, but that needs to be addressed immediately. There's no reason why Mustafa Ali and everybody else, Buddy Murphy, Cedric Alexander, Cesaro, Alistair Black, Almas, Finn Balor, who's your Intercontinental Champion, are sitting on the fucking sidelines. Do you realize that all of those names that I mentioned could be a fucking just group of guys that could legitimately not only be the future of your company, but carry your 2-hour weekly show every single week? What am I missing here? No, but Elias needs fucking television against The Miz. Shane McMahon needs to be in another 3 segments. Now, we need to see a rematch with Kofi Kingston and Dolph Ziggler after the motherfucker already lost clean inside of a steel cage. So why not? He loses, let's grant him another fucking opportunity at the world title. This company is so backwards. It is absolutely disgusting. Disgusting. It's at a point right now where I hope they go to Fox and day one, they fail. Just so Fox sees what type of investment they really did make. SmackDown Live started off with, guess who? Shane McMahon. He was standing in front of a SmackDown backdrop, sweating profusely, said Reigns had to face his 2 greatest rivals, and his back was against the wall, and his fate was inevitable. Your fate is inevitable if you watch this fucking show. No doubt, your fate equals sleep by the end of hour 1. That's what I wanted to do, but I gotta be here. He was so afraid of being humiliated, he got desperate, and he called upon the dead man. Did Reigns call upon the dead man, or did your daddy, Vince McMahon, call upon the dead man because he needs to sell tickets for Extreme Rules? I think I'll take $500 for why The Undertaker is showing up at Extreme Rules, Alex. Because they don't want a repeat of Stomping Grounds, Alex. Or what is? Let me answer this in the Jeopardy phrase. What is they don't want a repeat of Stomping Grounds, Alex? You are correct. 500. Next. Shane says he fears no man, dead or alive. He said Drew and him will make sure Roman is a dead man as well. Shane said he is in a mood tonight because of last night. Don't get on my bad side. Quite frankly, I'm pissed. And he warned the entire SmackDown Live roster. Dear Shane, You've been on my bad side, and WWE's been on my bad side. Your father has been on my bad side for years. I'm pissed. We're pissed. I think we have a lot more to be pissed about than you because of The Undertaker. At least our reasons are legitimate and, quite frankly, more important. This was terrible. It's like Shane was reading off a teleprompter. You couldn't get any more forced. Awful. Absolutely awful. How would you like SmackDown Live after watching that bullshit Monday Night Raw, that terrible Monday Night Raw? How would you like your SmackDown Live on Tuesday to start off with the one thing that you truly loathe in WWE right now, which is this storyline? Highlight package to start the show, and then the first thing you see is Shane McMahon's fucking face staring at you right in the camera. It's like they're fucking taunting you. It's like they're joking with you. Unreal. Kofi Kingston starts the real show off. This is another thing I had a problem with, which I'll talk about in a second. Kofi talked about some real highs and some real lows since becoming the WWE champion. Mr. Kingston, SmackDown Live has been all lows since you've been champion. It's not your fault, but that is because your company is a complete pile of dog shit. Seth Rollins tends to think this is the best wrestling on the planet. Yeah, right. Sure. And I'm going to be running next to fucking Donald Trump in the 2020 fucking presidential election. Kofi talked about having some real highs and some real lows since becoming champion, and he had to make a leap of faith to beat Dolph Ziggler on Sunday. Then the next night, before he could fully celebrate, Samoa Joe attacked him. They cut to footage of the attack. We seen the brutal attack, not once, but twice, from the savage Samoa Joe. Kofi said the coquina clutch is like being squeezed by a Samoan shark. I would have preferred an anaconda, but who am I? A Samoan shark until your world fades to black. You know, seeing those words in the promo makes me want to see Alistair Black. Why isn't he challenging for the WWE Championship? He's stuck sitting in a fucking closet somewhere. Samoa Joe could come out and randomly attack the fucking champion. What's stopping Alistair Black from doing so? I mentioned this on Monday Night Raw review. I guess he's too afraid to come out. Maybe he's a fucking vampire. Maybe he can't stand the sunlight. I don't know. He says he won't let Joe eat him alive. And then out comes everybody's favorite wrestler, because we couldn't wait to see Dolph Ziggler again after losing clean at the pay-per-view. Ziggler came out and said, I mean, Kofi, you can't look past me. You can't look past me, he says, after all I did on Sunday. Kofi then asked how many times he has to beat Dolph Ziggler. Good question. Maybe we should go to Alex Trebek again. So Ziggler yelled, and he's yelling about his career, his life, his livelihood. Kofi knows that Xavier Woods saved him at Super Showdown, and at Stomping Grounds, Kofi took the coward's way out and leaped out of the door to save his title. He said everyone knows he should be WWE champion right now. Does anybody legitimately think Dolph Ziggler should become the WWE champion? Seriously, this is a legitimate question. Do you think that Dolph Ziggler should be the WWE champion? I don't know. I don't think there's one single human being out there that thinks Dolph Ziggler should become the WWE champion. There's one thing that I do know about Dolph Ziggler. He should be gone. He should be in All Elite Wrestling, wrestling the likes of Jon Moxley and Chris Jericho and Hangman Page and Kenny Omega, missing the WWE. And, no, not missing the WWE. He would be away from WWE happy, and we would be missing Dolph Ziggler in the WWE because we would see him succeeding. That's what I've been saying all along. Dolph Ziggler needed to go away and do something else with somebody else for us to genuinely miss him. The fact that he's been gone only 6 months, and now he's seemingly the focus of this entire show on a weekly basis, makes me want him to go away even more so than the first time. So Ziggler was yelling. Kofi was saved at Super Showdown by Xavier Woods. Everybody knows he should be the WWE champion. He said he spoke to management, and if he wins his match tonight against Kofi Kingston, he is added to the Kofi versus Joe match at Extreme Rules. And that was it. And he said, by the way, this match is going to be a 2 out of 3 falls affair. What a way to beat something down over your head and make you vomit every time you hear it. 2 out of 3 falls. Just for the simple fact that WWE doesn't want wrestling during the commercials. So every week we're going to get a 2 out of 3 falls match because WWE doesn't want wrestling to happen during the commercials. How did they operate back in the day? I didn't bring this up on Monday Night Raw because we still had Tuesday to get through. But now, more so than Monday, it pissed me off even more. 2 out of 3 falls tonight with Kofi, and we got one with The Miz and Elias. I don't understand it. Is it that difficult to take less commercials but longer commercials? Like, why do you need to go to commercial in the middle of a fucking match? You don't have any other spot on the entire show in which you can plug a commercial. I would rather watch listen, I mean this wholeheartedly. I would rather watch commercials than see a useless fucking segment with Carmella, R-Truth, and Drake Maverick with everybody fucking chasing R-Truth and Carmella down the fucking hallway. I would rather see longer commercials than a useless fucking segment just to save the 2 out of 3 fall stipulation. How long can WWE keep up this gimmick? Unlike last night, they actually had a creative way to go about it. AJ Styles and Ricochet were in the main event. The club came out there because they wanted to stand by AJ's corner. AJ said no. He got on the microphone and said, I don't want you guys here. Go to the back. And this match will not be taking place to everybody until you do. It's like they got their fucking heads together and said, you know what? This is not a bad idea. Let's do this. Instead of making it a fucking 2 out of 3 falls match. Come on, man. This is absolutely ridiculous. It fucking soils the 2 out of 3 falls. 2 out of 3 falls is happening in matches that don't need the stipulation whatsoever. Why the fuck do The Miz and Elias need a 2 out of 3 falls stipulation? What the fuck are they fighting over? To fight Shane McMahon? What are they fighting over? Is a championship on the line that I don't know of? Is The Miz gonna buy Elias new guitar strings? What happens if Elias wins? Does he get a new drum set? I don't understand this shit. Fucking ridiculous. How does nobody speak up about this garbage? Why does Vince have to fucking have the final say? If he's wrong, he's wrong. I look like a fucking idiot for watching this show and coming on here and complaining about it. I really do. Nothing I say here will resonate with anybody. Nothing I say here will be heard in WWE. The fuck am I complaining about? Okay, continue to ruin your show. I've been a fan of this fucking product for 30 years. Plus, I know when something is wrong. This is complete garbage. Not one fucking appearance by Samoa Joe tonight. Not in this segment, not in this promo, not in the main event. Where the fuck was Samoa Joe? Did he get eaten by that Samoan shark? Did he go to the pet store and buy a Samoan shark and he was home taking care of it and feeding it? Where the fuck was he? No explanation. You got 3 weeks before Extreme Rules and your challenger failed to show up on SmackDown Live. Oh, they were over the wild card limit. Bullshit. Where was Samoa Joe? You have 3 weeks to tell me why, and you have already wasted 1 week. 1 week. I didn't care then. I'm not going to care going into next week. Not one single explanation as to why he attacked Kofi Kingston. You need to tell me why. I'm not excited about the match just based on who the fuck is in the match. Samoa Joe is a loser. There's no way he wins the WWE Championship. But at least give me a reason as to why he is there. Does nobody see a fucking problem with this? What are they, picking names out of a fucking hat? Are they throwing darts at a fucking wall? Wherever it lands, that's who the challenger's gonna be. No reason. Book it. Your intelligence is being insulted. I don't know what else to say, man. I really don't. 2 out of 3 falls. Absolutely ridiculous. The company is absolutely a joke. They're making a fucking mockery of everything. They look like an embarrassment by the way they're handling shit on TV. Lifeless, soulless television. That's what I got out of the first 2 segments of this show. Backstage, The Miz approaches Elias as he played guitar outside of Shane McMahon's office. The plaque on the wall was something that they printed off the fucking printer, had Shane McMahon's face on a dollar bill. He's the guy who's running the show, yet can't get a legit office in Portland, Oregon. The aesthetics mean a lot. I don't want to walk into somebody who's running the fucking show. I don't want to run into the boss's office and he's got a fucking piece of printer paper as his nameplate for his office door. Miz approached Elias. He's playing guitar outside of Shane McMahon's office. Elias said Shane is all fired up about Roman and The Undertaker. Yeah, so am I. For the wrong reasons. So we shouldn't walk in there right now. Miz says he would take his chances. Elias said if he goes in there, he's a dead man walking. Oh, you mean like Monday Night Raw's a dead man walking every single week? The more you do Shane and Shane and Shane and Roman and Drew, Shane, Raw is dead man walking. So, Miz called him a bootleg Bob Dylan. Elias played his guitar, and he continued to annoy the Miz. Miz asked if he was done. Elias says he's going to keep playing because he's working on a new song. Miz grabbed the guitar and says he's going to shove that guitar up the dark side of the moon. Please, do not disrespect Pink Floyd in your fucking garbage fucking storyline here on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown or whatever the fucking show is. Garbage. Please don't disrespect Pink Floyd by including them in your promos here for this shit storyline. So Miz told Elias to tell Shane they have unfinished business, as if the first 3 times he lost wasn't enough. 3 times! He's 0-3 against Shane McMahon. You want a 4th? Unreal. The Miz continues to be a loser. It's not the end of it because the entire WWE Universe and The Miz are sick of it. Miz left. Shane walked out and told Elias those were cool jams. Elias told Shane that Miz wants a match with him. Shane says he should go beat him up. Shane said first, Miz has to beat Elias 2 out of 3 falls. Elias smiled and said, I'm ready for the big time. Really? After 2 years of being a fucking loser, now you're ready for the big time. I don't think Elias will ever be ready for the big time, folks. Daniel Bryan and Rowan, your tag team champions, by the way, versus the New Day, Xavier Woods and Big E. This went 10 minutes, and I'll give you one guess as I take a drink of my cold Dasani water to clear my throat. I'll give you one guess as to who won this match. Was it the tag team champions? Well then, JD, who won the match? Oh, that's right, the New Day won the match. The challengers in this non-title match won this tag team match. The champions look like losers. Another champion in WWE has his back on the mat looking up at the fucking stars. Are we fucking joking around? Is this serious? Is this real life? Some fucking idiot on social media tweeted at me last night, I think you're overreacting a bit. The Boston Red Sox lost their opening day game and they went on to win the World Series. So you're comparing a real sport to a staged sport. You're comparing a real sport to something that is predetermined. Right? I don't understand that logic. WWE has the power of the pen. The Red Sox, whether they lose or win, is completely up to them. Meanwhile, WWE is in the business of making things look however they want. They have a clean slate, and they are the artist. In this artist portrayal, they want their champions in this fucking gloomy town to be the fucking panhandlers, the losers of the town, begging for spare change so that they can buy themselves a fucking hot meal on a fucking cold winter night. That's WWE's championship scenario right now. And nobody has a problem with it. I'm the only one who is voicing my opinion on the champions of these programs looking like losers. Watch NXT and NXT UK. I swear to fucking Christ, if somebody tells me I'm wrong, you're benched. Do you ever see champions in NXT losing? And I'm not talking about the Velveteen Dream on Wednesday. That was okay in my eyes. Because the Velveteen Dream has had wins. Several wins over Gargano, over Matt Riddle. That's a legit champion, folks. Do champions in NXT ever lose in a non-title match on basic weekly television? Or in NXT UK, you're going to see Walter lose? I don't think so, folks. I don't think so. Give me a break. The tag team champions here lost. Bryan went for a series of yes kicks. Big E caught a flying Bryan with a Uranagi. Xavier leapt off the top rope with a midnight hour for the clean win. I don't know why the New Day are in title contention. I don't understand it. Again? You have no other fucking teams in WWE. With the wild card rule, you can't give me another fucking another team outside of the New Day? What happened to the War Raiders? Didn't they stare down Bryan and Rowan? What happened with that? Or was that something that WWE forgot happened last week? Don't understand it. So what do you think happens here, folks? Champions lose, the babyfaces win, the challengers beat the champions, and now they are number one contenders. Another thing that's wrong with modern day WWE. After the match, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, the two biggest losers in WWE right now, right next to Samoa Joe, attacked the New Day. Rowan joined in. KO and Sami played to the crowd. Heavy Machinery comes and makes a save. And we got ourselves an 8-man tag team match after we just seen 10 minutes of a tag team match between the champions and the New Day. I ask why. Why are we getting a tag team match with the champions losing, only to get an 8-man tag team match so that we either A, get 50-50 booking, or the babyfaces win again and the heels look like losers? I don't get it. It's like WWE is completely out to sabotage every personality on this show and make them intentionally look bad. I don't understand the reason for this. You couldn't give me Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens versus Heavy Machinery in an offset tag team match. You needed to take the two teams that just competed and put them in another match? Why? Why? I don't understand why it couldn't be Kevin and Sami continuing their momentum from Stomping Grounds over Heavy Machinery. What was so difficult about that? Yet I'm the one who's complaining. Now you know why the tag team division is a fucking joke. Instead of taking something that actually worked on Sunday night and building momentum, WWE just has them lose all over again. I don't get it. I don't get it. The heels lost again, and this time in 5 minutes. We had a caterpillar, but before that, Owens couldn't even stay on the apron to watch Sami Zayn take the caterpillar. He fell victim to Otis. Sami then was destroyed by Otis. Heavy Machinery finished Sami off with the compactor, their finishing move, and that was it. That was it. Where were Bryan and Rowan? Where were Bryan and Rowan? Rowan worked on Tucker. He splashed him in the corner early on. Bryan leapt off the top rope. Tucker ducked, flipped Bryan over with a clothesline out to the outside, and that was pretty much it. Took them out of the match. Don't understand it. Will not understand it. I refuse to understand it. This is the genius of Vince McMahon at work, and it just made everything just completely dog shit. This show is fucking terrible. Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss, they showed WWE.com footage after Raw last night where Nikki says she's going to make it up to Alexa Bliss. She excitedly said that she got a match against Bayley on SmackDown Live, and if she wins, then Bliss gets a rematch against Bayley at Extreme Rules. So another woman in WWE, another blonde in WWE, basically doing nothing to acquire a title match out of pay-per-view. I am not surprised, folks. I am not surprised. Nikki Cross does the work. Alexa Bliss benefits from Nikki Cross's work and gets a title shot for doing nothing. For sipping on some coffee. Or in this case, being in Japan. Saxton hyped Nikki versus Bayley. No Firefly Funhouse. Vignette aired on Ali, who spoke about his fights for those lost in the night because they're worth the fight. He wants to protect the innocent from harm, even if harm comes upon him. He says he won't let fear deter him, and his heart will lead him to do all he can. His jacket said Muhammad Ali on his patch. Is Ali auditioning to be fucking Bruce Wayne? Or is he a professional wrestler? Are we about to recreate The Dark Knight Rises again? With Mustafa Ali playing the part of Batman? I don't get it. Get the man on TV. He was on TV. You took him off for whatever reason. I don't know. Get the man on TV. And please, send out an SOS to Buddy Murphy, please. Please, somebody. I'm genuinely concerned about Buddy Murphy's whereabouts on SmackDown Live. Shane McMahon came out because it wouldn't be SmackDown Live if we didn't hear money, 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 money. Miz versus Elias. First fall goes to Elias in 1 minute. 1 minute. So WWE could shoot right to commercial. Do you know how ridiculous that looks? Seriously, I mean this wholeheartedly. Do you know how ridiculous that looks? Fucking forced. So stupid. So we got a drift away for a 3 count. Then we got the second fall. Miz wins by DQ. What happened, you ask? I'll give you one fucking guess. Shane McMahon broke up a cover after a skull-crushing finale. And he attacked the Miz with a barrage of punches. Referee DQ'd this fall. Miz won by DQ. Shane got in the ref's face. And that was pretty much it. Shane went back to attacking the Miz after the referee pulled him away, including throwing him into the announce table. They double-teamed him, did Shane and Elias. They double-teamed the Miz at ringside, threw him into the ringside barricade. And Miz ended up speared by Shane McMahon because he mocked and imitated Roman Reigns. So there you go. Third fall, Elias wins the third fall. Wasn't much of a match to begin with in the third fall, but there you go. As Shane and Elias left, they stopped and turned back to the ring. Elias held Miz in place, and Shane did what he couldn't do last night because of The Undertaker. He delivered a coast-to-coast on the Miz, and that is it. Told him to never come back at him again like that. Kayla Braxton interviewed Finn Balor backstage. She asked about his intensity against Andrade Cien Almas. Said Andrade pushed him to the limits, and it's a testament to his true skills. He says the better his opposition is, the better he has to be to overcome those odds. So then she asks, naturally, who's next? Because the Intercontinental Champion has been on fucking TV for every show except Super Showdown. Go figure. Not surprised at all. In walks Shinsuke Nakamura. He stared at the belt, and he two-sweeted the center of the Intercontinental Championship. Who cares? I hate that I'm saying that, but who cares, folks? Who fucking cares? Seriously. Shinsuke Nakamura has been off of fucking television since WrestleMania. Since WrestleMania. And he shows up in a random edition of SmackDown Live on the 25th of June, or the 24th of June, and he is now the challenger for the Intercontinental Championship. Why? Why? Why am I the only one who finds an issue with this? What did Shinsuke Nakamura do to get a title shot? Did he acquire wins on SmackDown Live and or Monday Night Raw in the fucking meantime? While Balor wasn't on TV himself? Did he get wins? Is he telling the crowd, I deserve to be Intercontinental Champion? So, Balor's standing there conducting an interview. Who's his next opponent? You could have been anybody. You could have been a fucking idiot dressed in a bear costume. Could have been someone legitimately dressed as a fucking Nakamura cosplayer. It wouldn't have made a difference. I ask why. I am so sick of these shows not having any meaning. You do more to kill your show than to give your talent any fucking legitimacy. Any legitimacy whatsoever. Every segment on this show means absolutely nothing. These pay-per-view matches mean absolutely nothing because you're pretty much taking these matches and you're randomly picking them in a fucking 2K19 generator. You're hitting the random button. That's exactly what you're doing. This is all it is. It's 2K19 and you hit that square button and it randomizes and it cycles through all 150 characters in the game and it lands on Finn Balor and Shinsuke Nakamura. There's your match. Meanwhile, what has Balor done to look like a fucking champion? And what has Shinsuke Nakamura done to a point where he could legitimately too sweet the Intercontinental Championship? This should have been Nakamura's fate from the beginning. Yet you put him in a tag team with Rusev, buried both him and Rusev, did nothing with them, and now you want to bring him back to TV because you need something fresh and exciting going on into SummerSlam. Try again. This is awful. Intercontinental Champion is worth nothing. Absolutely nothing. Bayley versus Nikki Cross. Bayley came out. Soundbite aired of Bayley where she said Bliss is a liar and she hopes Nikki soon learns the truth. Nikki aggressively attacked Bayley at the bell. They fought back and forth. Nikki leapt off the rope and was cross-bodied hard for a near fall. Bayley dropped Nikki over the top turnbuckle with snake eyes. And at the end of this thing, Bayley went for a pin attempt to get a 3 count, but Nikki absorbed the knee to the head and reversed Bayley to get a pin attempt. And that was pretty much it. Nikki celebrated by leaning on the announce table and telling the announcers about her win. Corey Graves handed her his cell phone and he asked if she wanted to tweet Alexa, being that she was not there. Ridiculous. Bayley, the women's champion, just beat Alexa Bliss at the pay-per-view and comes out on Tuesday to lose. So what type of legit champion is Bayley? And the simple fact that Alexa Bliss now is getting another shot at the championship, it's either A, WWE is lazy to book anything else in 3 weeks, or B, WWE is moving on from Bayley and finally going to give Alexa Bliss the championship, and her being a Raw superstar, she can now solidify herself as a SmackDown superstar. I don't care. Neither should you. Nikki Cross wins in 8 minutes with a reversed maneuver at the end of the match. Carmella went looking for R-Truth backstage. Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville were there. They got into a verbal back and forth. They warned Carmella to watch her back. Truth then came out of what looked to be a hockey penalty box. Drake Maverick walked up to him and looked all completely fucked up. Says he doesn't have a referee and he doesn't have anything. Said his wedding was his special day, which took months of planning and thousands of dollars of his mother-in-law's money. He said Truth took that all away from him. Says he has nothing now. He said Truth has a heart of gold in there somewhere, yet his life is ruined. Truth hugged him and apologized. He said he thought it was Carmella's wedding. Truth said, Hornswoggle, if it means that much to you, get a ref. Drake called the ref over. Truth yelled, psych, ran away. And then we got the parade of VIP catering members running on down the hallway. Shelton Benjamin, the B Team, the Singh brothers, Brian Kendrick. They all ran past Drake Maverick and shoved him out of the way upon stampede down the aisleway. Or down the hallway. Awful. Just awful. Yet this is on television. And Buddy Murphy, Mustafa Ali, the rest of the tag team division, not. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Ember Moon versus Sonya Deville. This one went 2 minutes, folks. 2 minutes! Is it me or the women's match is getting shorter now that Ronda Rousey is not there? 2 minutes. This one went to Sonya Deville. Mandy distracted Moon. Then Sonya shoved her from behind into the ring post. Sonya then easily pinned Moon in the ring. What a waste of fucking talent, huh? Ember Moon gets called up from NXT to basically do nothing and be involved in no major storylines for 2 full years. Great use of talent there, Vince. You are a genius. And Rollins, this is the best wrestling on the planet. 2 minutes for Ember Moon. I'll take you up on that one, bro. I'll take you up on that one. Alistair Black Alistair Black, how I loved Alistair Black in NXT. Sat down and he was maniacally laughing and just frantically all over the place. Said it's not funny. I know. Listen, bro, I know it's not funny. What they're doing to you is not funny by any means. He says all he wants is for someone to fight him. That's literally all I'm asking. He threw his arms up and says he's starting to think there's not a single person in WWE to pick a fight with him. So Samoa Joe is not waiting to pick fights or waiting rather to have someone pick a fight with him. He went and picked a fight of his own. Why don't you do the same? You missed out on a WWE Championship opportunity, Mr. Black. Dumbass. Then there was on the door. Who could it be? Is it Papa H? Bro, listen. I can't take it anymore. I can't take it. What they're doing to you is absolutely criminal. Come on. Tommaso's coming back in about 4 months. I got you. Unreal. Knock on the door. He looked eyes wide open. Took a deep breath. Then he looked at the camera and smiled. So, how long has this been going on? About 2 months now? Probably more than that. Alistair Black has been in front of a camera in a dark room in a fucking button-up dress shirt for 2 months. And you can't have him get up, walk to the door, open it, and reveal who it finally is 3 weeks before the pay-per-view. You want to wait another week and have another missed opportunity. Like we didn't wait long enough on this bullshit fucking storyline. You know, you do realize that's the people that I mentioned. You got Finn Balor, you got Buddy Murphy, you got Cedric Alexander, you got Mustafa Ali, you got Shinsuke Nakamura, you got Alistair Black, you got Andrade Cien Almas, folks. That is a magnificent, what was that, 8? 7 or 8 guys? How many did I name? I don't even know. Look at the fucking number of men I just listed off to you that are on WWE's main roster. And look at the shows that we're getting. Any one of those men could vie against Ricochet or Finn Balor to create WWE's midcard and have it thrive like it's never thrived before. And this is the fucking quality of television that we're getting. You don't think Buddy Murphy would kill it with a Finn Balor? You don't think a Buddy Murphy would kill it with a Mustafa Ali or an Alistair Black? You don't think an Alistair Black would kill it with a Finn Balor? You don't think an Alistair Black would kill it with a Shinsuke Nakamura? You don't think a Ricochet would kill it with a Buddy Murphy? What the fuck are they doing? What are they doing? This is what they're doing. It is just inexcusable. It is unfathomable. The quality of these shows with the amount of talent I just listed off for you there. Many of which I look at as future WWE champions. I ask you why. Pathetic. And now you know why I fucking shit on this program every single week, and I take great joy in doing that. Kofi Kingston versus Dolph Ziggler because we couldn't get enough of it at Extreme Rules. Fucking stomping grounds. I'm all over the fucking place. Kofi Kingston versus Dolph Ziggler. 2 out of 3 falls, folks, because there cannot be a commercial break in this championship contest. Don't go to commercial. Sure, we didn't need to see Drake fucking Maverick on TV. Take longer commercials and save your time for something like this to a point where you don't need to make it 2 out of 3 falls. First fall opportunity went to Kofi in 3 minutes. Kofi rolled Dolph Ziggler up for a 3 count. They fought back and forth. Ziggler tried to score a pin with a sunset flip, holding the ropes for added leverage. Ref caught him. Kofi then reversed that into a sunset flip of his own, and he got the pinfall. Kofi Kingston, Dolph Ziggler's second fall. This one went to Ziggler in 1 minute. 2 out of 3 falls match, folks. 1 fall in 2 minutes. The second fall in 1 minute. And then you want to know why WWE championships and championship matches and main events on WWE television are complete garbage. 2 out of 3 falls match and 2 falls have already been accumulated in 3 minutes. And you could easily tell that WWE is maneuvering something and doing something different to fit whatever agenda Vince McMahon wants in the fucking shows, and it's absolutely ridiculous. 2 out of 3 falls here, 2 out of 3 falls there, 2 out of 3 falls last week, 2 out of 3 falls this week, an elimination match on Raw. This company is absolutely so far gone. Nobody could save this shit. Nobody. Dolph Ziggler wins in 1 minute. Ziggler super kicked Kofi Kingston, and that was it. By the way, I forgot. Ziggler took it to Kofi at ringside. He beat the shit out of him after the first fall. Threw him into the barricade. Delivered a zigzag on the floor, which led to the super kick in fall number 2, and that was pretty much it. Fall number 3, back and forth, several minutes. This third fall went the distance. Ziggler set up super kicks as Kofi struggled to stand. Kofi cartwheeled out and landed a Trouble in Paradise for the win. Actually, that was a great Trouble in Paradise. I will say that. That was a devastating Trouble in Paradise. He landed that shit on Dolph Ziggler. And no Samoa Joe. Not one sign of Samoa Joe on this show. Folks, I don't know. SmackDown used to be the safe haven. SmackDown used to be the safe house for us to go to on Tuesday nights to find storylines and storytelling and wrestling. It was the more wrestling-centric show. We went to SmackDown Live to get whatever we were missing from Monday Night Raw, and this show, with the wild card rule, has proverbially killed the midcard and is nothing more than Vince McMahon playing favorites. It's Vince McMahon going to the ice cream shop, and he's got 67 other fucking flavors, and he continues to go back to chocolate and vanilla every single week. No sprinkles, no chocolate jimmies, no rainbow jimmies, no cookie crumble, no caramel sauce, no fudge, hot fudge, no fucking cherry on top, nothing. Soft serve, vanilla, and chocolate. He's got 69, 68, 67 other fucking flavors right there, all homemade, fresh. And he refuses to try any one of them. I don't know what to tell you. I just don't know what to tell you. Something needs to happen to a point where someone gets in Vince McMahon's fucking face, whether it be the investors, the fucking stockholders, that they sit down and just force this man into changing the fucking show, because this show is absolutely in shambles right now. Shambles. How anybody could look at this show and deem it a 9 out of 10 and 8 out of 10, you're out of your fucking mind. The 1993 King of the Ring is one of my favorite pay-per-views in the history of this company. And I didn't even give that a 9 out of 10. What are you watching? What are you watching? Why aren't you dissecting these shows like I am? Everybody that's watching this show, unless you're fucking 6 years old and don't know any better, and you can't wait for mommy to fucking give you ice cream at home before bed, and you can't wait for mommy to give you fucking an hour of your day tomorrow to play fucking Fortnite, if you're not one of those fucking people, then you should be on board with what I'm complaining about and want change. Raw and SmackDown are a complete embarrassment to pro wrestling. How you could wake up and be proud of what you did on these shows this week is a fucking shame. How anybody can go into this shit deeming, oh, it's a nothing show anyway, don't worry about it. I never understand that mentality. There's no such thing as a nothing show. There's no such thing as a throwaway show or a throwaway pay-per-view. If the people are investing their time, whether they're watching at home or sitting in the crowd, it needs to be something that you do with 100% legitimacy. It needs to be something you put 100% effort in. WWE mimics Vince McMahon. 74 years old, lifeless, soulless, doesn't give a shit about anybody but himself. These shows are indicative of Vince McMahon's personality. And I don't know how long people are going to fucking sit here and wait for change. It's not coming. I'm going to continue to make my money off this fucking bullshit. All I know is October cannot come soon enough. Because in October, You won't be seeing champions lose on television. You're not going to be seeing people running around chasing a fucking title that looks like it should be on the fucking can of Jolly Green Giant green beans. You're not going to see fucking champions losing. You're not going to see heels taking a loss every single fucking week. You're not going to see shitty catchphrases fed to Vince, to the commentators. You're not going to see rematch after rematch, rematch. You're not going to see weekly television with no fucking meaning. How can AEW already have a fucking important show on their debut night and WWE hasn't given me any week coming out of WrestleMania that has been deemed important? Night 1 on AEW on TNT, there's a tag team title tournament taking place. How do they have things in motion already, and how is their debut show that hasn't even aired yet important, and WWE can't make their fucking shows important? But Seth Rollins is arguing with probably the best wrestler in the planet, according to most right now, and someone who I think is going to win the G1 Climax this year and go on to win the World Heavyweight Championship in Japan come Wrestle Kingdom. Because Okada and Ospreay is the money match. Seth Rollins is arguing with Will Ospreay and throwing Dean Ambrose under the bus. Why? When we all know Rollins has no other choice but to stick with Vince McMahon because everybody else wants out. He's got to be the fucking flag bearer for a company that right now employs some of the best talent in the world. And all of that talent wants out for the very reasons that I complain about every single week. Seth Rollins has no choice but to complain. Or not to complain, I should say. Meanwhile, in here, he wants to complain. He's the Universal Champion. He has to show that he is loyal and dedicated to the WWE. His best friend left him. What else is he going to do? Cry? And wait for his contract to run out so he can join Jon Moxley in AEW? Or is Vince McMahon going to throw him more money and Vince is going to tell him to make an example of everything and why WWE is the place to be? Best wrestling on the planet? I'm sorry, Seth. You are 100% mistaken. The best wrestling on the planet is in NXT, in my honest opinion. You don't have to look far to find the best wrestling on the planet. You're close! It's in WWE, but it's not on the main roster. It's not on the brand in which you call yourself champion. It's not on the brand in which Kofi Kingston is the WWE champion. It's in the brand that everybody should be looking at as far as what to do as change for this company. Close, but no cigar. Getting out of here. Thank you guys very much. I'll see you guys for NXT tomorrow, where I should have a smile on my face. Io Shirai and Shayna Baszler in the main event. Women's title. Steel cage. See you guys later.